Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the world you're in. This is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections, and I am here to speak to Lubna Mayor, who is from Karachi, Pakistan, and we're going to find out all about her life, her work, and her passions. I know she's married and I know she has kids and she is also an educator. This show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. And Lubna Mayor, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. Hello America. And thank you so much Carla for inviting me on this show. I'm
What about Karachi?
yes, I'm from Karachi, Pakistan. It's a 24 by 7 city. And after getting married, I came here. And before this, I was living in Punjab. I'm basically from Islamabad, and all my education is from city Islamabad and Rawalpindi. I have started my teaching career from these cities, and when I was just a student, I have started my teaching career. And when I got married, I have more than 10 years teaching experience
Um,
Karachi, and this is the
okay,
biggest
Lubna
city,
Mayor,
city of Sindh province. Yes,
go back a little because you froze and we didn't hear what you were saying. You said something about being in Karachi. You were saying something before you said in Karachi. Do you remember?
okay,
Yeah.
yes,
Go back and just start about where your teaching career started.
yes. My teaching career I have started when I was a student, and I started as a primary teacher in a private school. It's a very for young kids ECE based school, and gradually I promoted as a pre-primary to primary section and then secondary section, and I had more than 10 years teaching experience when I got a government job in a government sector, federal government sector. And at that time, I was selected for USAID project for National Sector Reform Assistant Program, and I worked over there as a script writer. Firstly, they have trained me, and then they have appointed 5 teachers from government and private sector, and we work together as a team to upgrade schools in remote areas. More than 200 schools in that project, and after that I got married and I come to Karachi. And in Karachi, it's a big city with big opportunities, and here I have started my teaching career as a consultant. As a consultant, I did job in higher secondary school for teenagers, and over there I worked for 6 months because I have psychology background. So that was also eye opener job, but at that time I didn't have much more expertise. So I wanted to know something more. I wanted to train myself. Then I joined uh, EC sector, EC setup schools. I have more than 5 years teaching experience in that category, and gradually I come to know that this is a high time to train teachers, because this is the only weak point in my point of view. We were lacking at teachers training. So I switched myself to teacher education. And in teacher education, as you know, that teachers are trained uh, pre-primary, primary, and secondary level. And pre-primary level is much more important, because ECE, when we focus on early years education, then we have to focus on early years teachers education as well. So I did job as a early years teacher educator, as admin person in ICD, Institute of Early Childhood Education and Development. And 1 year back, before lockdown, I was working as a research coordinator in Teachers Development Center, and I have trained myself as a trainer. So this is my story. This is the story of my teaching career. And right now I am working with different people who are facing some sort of problems, not only in education, not only for their personal lives, but also they are concerning about the pandemic and after pandemic conditions. So I am working with the Teachers Parents Association as an activist person. So this is my story.
Okay, when you were teaching school, what did you teach?
Sorry.
When you were teaching school, what subjects did you teach?
I was teaching in firstly it was a private school um, in my town area. 9 years, I think, more than 9 years. I taught over there, and I have started, as I said, pre-primary teacher from nursery level to grade 9 O-level students. And then I moved in government sector. In government
No,
sector,
stop. Stop for a
sorry,
moment because I
okay.
did not express my question correctly. What did you teach your students? What do you mean? First of all, let's go back even another step. What was, what ages is primary school in Pakistan?
In Pakistan, primary school level or age of the children is different in different schools. If you are talking about public sector, it may be vary, but in private schools, pre-primary from 3 to onward, and in government sector, it is they started their education after 5 or maybe 6 year. They have started their education. So sometimes it very late, sometimes it is very earlier. So we have to deal different age group childrens. And what I am teaching, I am a multitasker teacher, as I am trained myself gradually according to the requirement. Firstly, I wasn't trained teacher when I starting my teaching career, but then I did B8, Bachelor of Education. After getting that professional degree, they upgraded me for higher grades, 3, 4, and onward. And when I did my master's, MEd, these master degrees helped me to teach further age groups. And as I have a science background, uh, botany, zoology, and applied psychology. According to my graduation, according to my master degrees, they have given me different subjects, especially science subject, zoology and botany, these subjects.
You teach botany to 4 and 5-year-old kids? How
Sorry?
do you teach botany to kids who are 5 and 6 years old?
No. I said gradually. 5 years old, I was teaching maths, English, Urdu languages.
Okay. What age children did you teach when you first began teaching?
3 years, 3 to 5 years.
Okay. What was your major thing that you taught these 3-year-old kids to do?
I was home teacher at that time, and I was teaching all subjects. It's a private school, and you only have a helper for conducting activities, different kind of activities. Home teacher needs a helping teacher or assistant teacher, and I have to teach all subjects, maths, English, and life skills, these subjects. And basics of languages, especially Urdu. We focused on Urdu languages and English language. When the children at very early age, as we focus in early years education, their syllabus is developed in that content, in that context, that they learn the basics of languages, so that when they started making words, making sentences, and then gradually they develop the creative writing. They have developed their skills in creative writings in Urdu, in English, and in maths. You have to teach them letters, or sorry, numbers, then tables, and then adding, subtracting, multiplication. 3 to 5 years. I'm talking about 3 to 5 years, and this is not the thing that you have done at a time. Sometimes you have to skip one subject in a week. Sometimes you have to skip one activity, but we cater the all things within the 5 dimensions, five domains of child development.
So how old were the children that you taught for the most part?
Mostly I have taught early years children, 3 to 5 and 5 to 10. Mostly I have taught these children, but I have taught as a coach, as a you can say home tuition. I have taught teens, O-level students. So these are the two categories: very early age and very, you can say teens, higher secondary school students.
But did you teach them in the same class, or did you teach?
No.
So how many classes did you teach when you were teaching?
If I say that, if when I was teaching as a pre-primary teacher in a private school, when I have started my teaching career, at the same moment in homeschooling, I was teaching higher secondary students as a personal coach. It was should I take the name of that school? Ziaul Islam National
That's
School.
up to you.
Okay, Ziaul Islam National School, and as I during these times I was beside these things I was doing my professional degree, Bachelor of Education. Bachelor, when you did Bachelor of Education, you trained, you groomed very well, so you will be able to teach more if efficiently, more effectively. You can change the teaching methodology according to the students nature, students requirement. So as I said that I am a multitasker, multi dimensional teacher. Firstly, early years, then I taught 5 to 10 years students, and then higher secondary students. But now, since 2010 to onward, I am focusing early years education, early years education and early years teachers education.
Okay. When you were teaching back then, did you teach all the different age levels or did you
Yes,
just
yes.
in 1 year?
Not in 1 year, in 10 years.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Okay, in 1 year, in
Uh,
1 year, yeah, okay,
Let
in
me
1 year,
ask.
okay, in 1 year, in 1 year, I teach pre-primary students whole subjects, all subjects in 1 year.
Okay. Did you also teach older children that year? The first year you were teaching, what age children did you teach?
Sorry?
During the first year you were teaching,
Yes.
what age did you teach? How old were your children?
Uh, when I started very first year, there were 2.5. That was the little one, and the eldest student in my class was 4.5 year. So 2.5 year to 4.5 year. They are very young children. They were very young.
Okay, so you didn't teach anyone older than that age that year.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you like to teach them the most?
Languages
Why
and life
languages?
languages and life skills, both.
Okay. Why did you like teaching those subjects more than any other subject?
Because firstly, my background, my educational background is child psychology. So I know the child psychology very well, and gradually I am at the when I am teaching at the same time I am learning. So I have learned this thing that this is the very ideal age to learn different kinds of things at their basics foundation. This is the ideal age, because within 5 to 7 years, for 7 years I think this is much more, at least 5 years, the whole personality of the child is developed. What he would do, he or she would act. So we have to work these ages. At this stage we work a lot on languages, for communication, for understanding, for subject understanding, And for life skills is much more for their personality building. So these things are the basic when you are developing the whole child, when you are thinking during teaching the whole child, the whole five domains of a child development, then you have to focus on these subjects. So this is only my opinion. Maybe someone has a different opinion, but I think you must focus on languages and life skills. These are the ideal stage.
So, what kind of life skills did you teach these children?
Life skills, when we started, we say life skills, that the situation you are handling. When we taught when we are teaching a very young kid how to open uh, open the door, how to zip unzip, how to uh, tie your laces, how to button unbutton, these kind of things are the basics for their upcoming life or upcoming life adventures as well. Children's at this stage, if they lack in at any skills, any life skills, gradually they have developed a kind of phobias. And as I said that when I was dealing as a consultant with teens, most of their problems are ground rooted, or root cause was their childhood problems. At their childhood, when you are dealing uh, 2.5 to 4 years, 3 to 4 years kids, if you are not teaching properly life skills, they have developed some kind of problems which may destroy their personality. And you sometimes you realize it, sometimes you don't. People usually think that it's okay if very young kids, they don't need to these kind of things. They usually say, don't touch it, don't do this, don't do this. But we have to teach them how to deal the things, how to button unbutton, how to dress your or undress, how to match the things, how to match the colors, how to know the traffic lights. 4 years kid know very well uh, about the traffic lights, green, red and yellow lights. And they know how to walk properly according to the line. When we say please line up, they line. They know how to stand in a queue when they face their practical lives. So these life skills, I think, much more important for a very young kid from very starting, because whenever you scold, you punish, or whenever you say something harsh, it will affect immensely a child development. And
Uh,
psychologically, they have developed phobias. So, in my opinion, teaching life skills at early years is much more important.
how do you teach the life skills? Because we know that their understanding may not be fully there.
Okay, in early years, we have different tactile boards. If you have any idea about tactile boards is a kind of a board which you can make at home or in a school environment. And you have put something using their five senses, touch and using your hand, these things to zip unzip, to lock unlock the door. So you have, if a doorknob is over there, put it or place it in a tactile board. Put a kind of zips, zip and unzip. Put make a throwing ball within a pipe, so he can drop a ball. And uh, these kind of activities, these kind of tactile board according to the age of the child. We don't use a tactile board for 2.5 years, the same board for the 4 years. Or beside this, we use symbols, we draw lines on a floor, we use numbers, we use different colors. So these are the activity based. Life skill is not a kind of thing that you can do in a one way. You can do in different way. It depends on teachers. It depends on lesson plan. It depends on the environment you are providing a student.
Sounds good to me. Do you have any kids going through these programs?
Sorry?
Do you have any students yourself, your own children? Are they going through the
Oh,
program
yes.
studying?
Yes. Yes. At the moment, I don't have tactile boards because my younger one is, mashallah, 8 years old, and she is not using these kind of boards or these things. But um, I use it because I have made it different things. Now I have packed all the materials in this pandemic. I have packed all the material. I have made it for my own kids, and now I am thinking about to donate it someone, some school or some kind of people who need it badly. So I am thinking about it now. At the moment, I don't need, but when I was using these things, my home or my rooms were very messy. And when the guests used to come and they say your house is very messy, very dirty, when and untidy, I don't care, because my kids were learning a lot. They use the walls, they draw the things. So I use blank papers. I paste it on the wall, on doors, so they can easily paint it or draw it. Because sometimes when you give a pencil, paper, or paints, paintbrush, sometimes they sit calmly and do things. But kids have their own nature. They use these paints to draw or to do the untidy the walls and to draw or to write the things on different surfaces. So it's usually happens. So my house is full of these things.
Do you think it's good to allow the kids to explore,
Yes.
learn
Yes,
from it?
at the yes, when people were talking about that you have very untidy or unorganized room or this thing, and I behave calmly, and I said, okay, it's okay for me because it helps. It is helping my kids. So now my kids are, mashallah, wonderful. They doing very well. They are very active. They did creative writing actively. They can write poems. They can do poetry because I focus on languages. They can do poetry in English and Urdu as well. They can do different craft making. And at the same time, as I said, these kind of things are the basics. When you put the foundation of a personality, when they grow up, it shows output. At the moment you are thinking that these kind of things are useless, or sometimes you become very aggressive, sometimes you are very irritating. What is going on? Why we are getting engaged these little kids? And usually it happens at the moment. Sometimes they are giving they when these young kids irritating parents, they just give their cell phones, or they are getting them screen addictions. But in my home, as I teach the things, I usually taught those things in my own house for my own kids. And what happened now, they are very much socialized, they are very much confident, and I didn't taught these things. I just put the good foundation, and what they are now, they are their own. So that's why I am saying that as a teacher trainer, I focus on the foundation of a personality. Put the values. Don't don't focus on lesson plan. Just focus on the personality. So I think personality making or a good human being is much more important than the lessons or the content we are giving, I think.
Do you want your children also learning how to use iPads and phones and computers in order to learn?
They are using very, I think, but the timing is fixed. According to the schedule, I have a 1 week plan. This is your planner. You one day you have to use, your screen time is 2 hours, but there is a breakage, because I think when you are using your visual activity, just sit straight and just focus on without blinking your eyes. I don't think so it's proper. It's not only harmful for your health, for also your eyes as well, for your mental health as well. So in my house there is a timing, 2 hours for every kids. And for it is also different, because for 8 year it is 1 hour. For 10 years, I have 10 years, mashallah. My second daughter is mashallah, say, 9.5. She uses for 2 hours after dinner or before dinner. This is her timing. And for my eldest daughter, it's more than 2 hours, because she has to take her online classes as well. So she is using these iPhone and laptops and digital things, but none of none of them are using uh, uselessly. They are using actively for productive things. Sometimes it happens that you have to let the children, okay, do it, have it, and watch whatever you want to watch, but do the things within the supervision is much more better. Usually parents are complaining their kids are becoming more screen addictions. Sometimes they are saying they are wasting their time gamings and these things and these things. You have to supervise them, because if they are watching, they are wasting their time, then engage them in a productivity or in a such kind of activity, so they they can do it easily.
Uh, I totally agree. I think parents need to supervise their children when they're on the computer or on the tablet. Otherwise, they're not learning, they're just playing games and having fun.
You have some kind of websites uh, uh, which
How
may
old
be.
are your kids?
My eldest one is mashallah 14 years old, and second one is 9.5, and the little one is 8 years old.
So they're all in school now.
Yeah,
Do they go to private school or do they go to public school?
they are going to private school. They are having their online classes, but I am not satisfied with the online classes. Teaching is sometimes different, and the power failure is different. So
Yeah.
I have a power backup. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So there are some such kind of things we have to manage it. So that's why I'm saying that I am living in the strongest city of the strongest people.
You have some very strong people there in Karachi. Do you want
Karachi is,
to impart any extra wisdom for our audience?
sorry,
Do
I
you
didn't
want to
hear you.
tell, do you have any words of wisdom for our audience that you want to share?
Actually, I am also in the process of learning how can I say these things, but the only thing I can say that this pandemic will over. It's not forever. So be patient and be tolerant. Sometimes it happens that we are we have the breakage of the connections between parents teachers or teachers parents or students or teachers, and find out that breakage. Just be connected so that we can educate our kids in a very proper way. For these connections or for better connections, we are always complaining about the internet connectivity. We are different software connectivity, but I must say that we focus on our relationship connectivity, our friendship connectivity. Be connected. This time will sooner over. But after that, don't over. I think I can say over exhausted. Don't be panic, and be very patient. Tolerance is the thing that it is a skill. You have to learn this skill. Be tolerant, not only with your family, with your friends, but the people around. I think in this way, we can live in a better way. We can live with peace.
Good. And I want to thank you for speaking with me tonight. And hopefully, we will do this again.
Inshallah.
And I want to thank the Institute of Peace for making this show possible. And we're going to say goodbye now and have a good day. Don't go yet. Have a great day,
Thank you. Thank you.
people. Thank you for watching, people.